experimentation, reflecting Mies van der Rohe's less is more philosophy, and he taught it at the Illinois Institute of Technology. But not all of his students agreed. One that disagreed built next door. His name was Bertrand Goldberg. Bertrand Goldberg, as you guys can see, reflected the less is more philosophy taught to him by his teacher, Mies van der Rohe. He came up with his own ideas towards architecture. Bertrand Goldberg personally believed that since there are no right angles in nature, there will be little to no right angles in his architecture. So off on the right-hand side, we have Marina City, the corn cobs of the Midwest, if you will. They are famous for the two 60-story cylindrical towers, which together have 896 pizza-shaped apartments, referring to them starting out narrow and then widening as you walk into them. Marina City here opened up in the mid-60s, designed and built at a time when most people did not live downtown. The idea behind Marina City was to be the city within the city. Designed to accommodate for things not readily available downtown at the time, the corn cobs opened up with your apartment, parking garage, boat marina, restaurant, grocery store, bowling alley, 10-story office building, health club, radio station, bank, ice skating rink, and even a theater now called the House of Blues. Your whole life could take place in one city block. Up next on your right-hand side, the green glass building here is RPM Seafood. You guys, oh, forgive me, no it's not. It's the American Bar Association building. I'm so sorry, guys. It's a bunch of lawyers, not seafood there. The lower outdoor patios are for IPM Seafood. They are firmly out of my price range. But on the base, you will see Portofino's Pizzeria, which is actually very good Italian. You see a lot of us adding on these outdoor patios facing the Chicago River as we are starting to embrace the river both as a city and as a tourist attraction. Up next on the right-hand side, the Reed Murdoch Center, 1914 by George Niman, a former warehouse boasting its original red brick masonry and terracotta ornamentation. You will count 6 bays of windows to the right-hand side of the clock tower, but there's only 5 off here to the left. The building was first designed and built symmetrically with 6 and 6. But the left-hand side had one of its bays completely removed. The building was then squished back together to help make room for the widening of the LaSalle Street Bridge, which we are passing beneath right now. Up next on your right-hand side, we have 300 North LaSalle, Picard and Chilton, 2009. The glass tower stands 784 feet tall, and it is LEED certified platinum. Now, LEED stands for Leadership in Environmental and Energy Design. It is a point system used to measure the green standard of buildings, and platinum is the highest certification awarded. The tower is entirely built from recycled material, has a green roof to mitigate the rainwater, and the tower cools itself off using the Chicago River water. They end that process by returning all that water back to the Chicago River cleaner than when it first went in. That's green. Okay, keep it trucking, John. Take a look now off on your right-hand side. You guys are correct in your first assumptions here. This building is big. This is the Merchandise Mart, 1931, Graham Anderson, Probst and White. It's a great example of Art Deco. The 4 elements of Art Deco present include the Indiana limestone facade, strong vertical orientation, setbacks near the top, and geometric shapes throughout. When it opened up in 1931 at 4.1 million square feet, it was the largest concrete structure in the world. The Hoover Dam has less concrete in it than this building. This was first used as a way to consolidate 14 warehouses for Marshall Field's department stores. Had to be big. Designed with 500 showrooms, had 8 miles of corridors, sits on a 5-acre plot, and up into the late 90s, the Merchandise Mart had its own zip code. It was bought by the Kennedy family in 1945 for $16 million in back taxes. The Kennedys resold the Merchandise Mart, though, in 1998 for $575 million.
Wow.
Okay, I got a few of you on that. The rest of you. $575 million.
Wow.
Yeah, I got more of you on that. Okay, you guys are like, oh, should have put a bid in on it. No, that's like a lot of money, guys. They call that a good investment. During the process, though, of buying and selling the Merchandise Mart, the Kennedy family held on to the developmental rights to Wolf Point off on your right. And they have fully developed it out with 3 brand new skyscrapers. Flanking it on either end, we have Wolf Point East and Wolf Point West, 2 residential buildings, But the tallest of the three is here in the center, the 864-foot-tall commercial building known as Salesforce Tower, as the primary occupant is, of course, McDonald's.
Whoa.
No, it's Salesforce, guys. Okay. You guys are hard to impress. Wolf Point today is not just known for the Kennedy family development, it is also known as the place where Chicago got her start. Back in the 1830s, our population began growing very quickly. That incoming population was moving right here to Wolf Point, where we had our first bridge across the river, ferries across the river, homes, businesses, churches, and of course, our first bars were right here as well. It's believed that in one of those bars, after a couple of shots, we raised a tankard of beer. We called our city Chicago, a word we got from the indigenous word for the area, Chicago. Come later to learn, they were not talking about the land. Chicago was a reference to the fragrant smelling onions which grew wild on the banks of our river. 2020 hindsight, should have skipped the shots. But as it stands today, folks, welcome to Chicago, the big city that apparently smells like onions. Thank you. We're now in the North Branch here. Two announcements. First and foremost, your attention goes on either end of the vessel. Keep that in mind. Announcement number 2 is a disclaimer. I will say the words luxury condos a lot. Buckle up. The red brick building off on your left-hand side is the Fulton House, a former cold storage facility that has undergone adaptive reuse to be turned into luxury condos. The project done by Harry Weiss, who also designed and built these buildings next door here. These are the River Cottages, 1988. You notice things like portholes, triangle shapes like sails, and a general nautical essence. It's because Harry Weiss loves sailing on Lake Michigan, so nautical elements are commonly found in his designs. Whiplash, right-hand side. 1979, Gordon Levin. We have here the East Bank Club. This is a very large and a rather intimidating looking building, but keep in mind, back in 1979, the Chicago River was capital D disgusting. You did not want to look at it, live on it, or smell it. So things that were designed to be on the river were also designed to have their backs to the river. So much